Happy new month. I'm so excited to be filming this video in preparation for my favorite month. And I'm sure you guessed it, it's my favorite month because it's my birthday month. And I'm actually entering my last year in my 20s, which is crazy. Like millennials, we're getting older. Gotta face realizations. But this is an exercise that I do every single month. So I want to take you alongside me as I actually do the exercise. I have my laptop here. I'm going to be going through each of the prompts that I do. Now, it's a mixture of reflection and planning. So it will take you a couple hours. I would say set aside some hours to actually sit down and do it. It's going to be transformative. I think sometimes we let the barrier of it's going to take me so long stop us from actually sitting down to plan. But what happens when we sit down to plan is we end up saving lots of hours over the course of the month. So I'm excited to take you alongside this exercise. Feel free to pause this video as you need to actually reflect and do the exercise, or watch it through, take notes, and go ahead and do it for yourself. But I recommend definitely doing this towards the end of like the last week of the month prior or the first week of the new month, because you do want to go in ready and prepared. The purpose of this exercise is to get you started in the new month with intention and ease instead of overwhelm and stress. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're a returning Fire Insider. Hey, I'm Sade Kelly. I'm the CEO and founder of The Fire Inside, where I provide time management coaching and content creation services. As a time management coach, I am on a mission to help ambitious people just like yourself design a lifestyle that lights them up and ignites a fire inside of them by learning how to effectively manage their time. So let's get into these 4 steps. The first step is to assess what went well and what could have gone better in the previous month. So since we're preparing for August, we're going to think about how July went. So some questions I would ask myself, and I'm thinking about this from the lens of my personal life and my work life. So for me, my personal life includes like wellness, fitness, relationships, self-care, anything along the lines of that. And then my work life consists of anything that has to do with my business, whether it's content creation or my time management services. So I always like to ask myself, how would I describe July, or like how would I describe the previous month? Then I think of what were the best parts of last month? What am I most proud of that I accomplished? What's one thing that I learned? And then I think about how can I actually improve? So I love looking, and this is actually one of the things that I learned. I love looking at past analytics because there's so much to be learned from what we did. And if we can keep track of it, this like you literally can accomplish so much based off informed decisions that are personal to you. So I always like to say, like, if you're not tracking what's going on, you're not going to know how far you've gone. You're going to feel like you never make progress because you're actually not tracking it. So that's one of the things I highly recommend that you do, especially if you feel like you're not really making any progress. It may be an issue in like you're not tracking what you're actually doing. So take a moment to think through, what went well, what could have gone better, and actually journal it out in a piece of paper, or you may want to write it in a Word doc. I have mine up in a Word doc. So I'll share a little bit about what I wrote. So I would describe last month as challenging. It definitely was full of a lot of growth. It was uncomfortable at times, and it was a transition period for me. So in May, I got married, and then I went on my honeymoon. So it was just like blissful month. June was a mixture of like my husband's birthday activities, my brother's wedding. There was a lot of marriages going on in my family this year. And then like kind of getting back into the swing of things, getting back into work. So July felt like I just got thrown into work. And during that time, I also hired a new business coach. So I was just like really getting full throttle into work. It felt like kind of what like January, February felt like for me is what July felt like, which I enjoyed, but it was challenging. It was a lot of growth. The thing I'm most proud of though is that I hit my business goal. Like I really made it tangible and small. I was realistic with it and I actually hit it, and I was able to hit a 5-figure month once again. And I'm just so proud of myself. So now I have even bigger goals that I'm going to write up for July, but that's something I'm really proud of. One thing I learned is that I actually was not spending enough time in my business analytics. So I was tracking other things like my habits, my fitness and wellness, but I wasn't spending enough time actually tracking my analytics in my business. And I was kind of like just following people's strategies and doing what I thought would work without looking at what has worked for me in the past tense while I'm learning and new things and implementing new things. So that was a big thing that I learned about myself and realized like doing that is going to help me a lot more. And then one thing I want to improve is honestly just really taking the time out to not work in the evening. So I go through ebbs and flows of this, to be honest. Like sometimes I have the alarm set on my calendar to stop working and I do it and I'm just like, yes, girl, you did it. And then other times I'll actually stop working. I'll go do something fun, something else, and then an idea will come in my head. And I know if you're an entrepreneur or if you're multi-passionate, this happens to you. An idea will come in my head and then I'll end up almost on like a whole research project, which is technically work. Like I feel like when you're an entrepreneur, the lines can kind of get blurred when you just feel like creating content, or when an idea comes, you just start doing it. But I noticed that was negatively affecting my sleep because I was not doing my full out night routine like I usually would because I was going back into work. So I do want to improve that for this month. I want to intentionally spend some more time having fun while I'm trying to build and grow, and know that and trust and believe that when I do that, I'm going to be more productive. So that's a little bit about what I learned. So go ahead, do step 1 for yourself and then come back for step 2. Step 2 is to identify what your goals are for the new month. So what are your August goals? So I'll share a little bit of mine. And I use my own quarterly goal planner template to actually plan out my goals. If you're interested in using my exact same template, I'm actually going to leave that template in the link below. It's really low cost. If you want to check out that template, it's honestly super easy. And I also include a more in-depth training on how to set goals in that comes with that template. So if you want to just purchase that and have a template and not have to worry about creating your own, go ahead and check the link in that description. But what I usually do when I'm about to set my goals, like I mentioned, is I look at my July goals first. So I saw that I hit majority of my July goals. So that was acquiring 2 new clients, hit that goal, completing the business coaching program that I'm in, and also doing the materials each week, hit that goal as well. And then my last business goal was to record 2 YouTube videos the first and the third week of the month. I didn't exactly record them the first and the third week of the month, but I did hit the goal of posting 4 videos, so 1 every Tuesday for the month of July, which was I launched my YouTube channel the end of June. So that was just my goal, to be consistent, post at least 1 video a week. Now I want to increase that. So that's going to go into my August goals. My personal goals were around eating. So I was trying to eat more healthy, going for 80% healthier meals. And then I wanted to prioritize at least 30 minutes of exercise each day. And then I wanted to practice Spanish daily and Duolingo. Those didn't exactly happen, but I did exercise at least 6 days a week. And I did practice Spanish at least once a week. So I want to use that to inform my August goals. So let's see, what am I doing for August? So some of my August goals, business-wise, is going to actually go from last month I acquired 2 clients. Now I want to acquire 3. I also raised my prices a bit, so that's going to help reflect and help me out while I build out my launch. So my goal for August is to acquire 3 one-on-one clients while I also do my second goal, which is to finish my launch materials and start launching my group program. That starts in September. If you are interested in that, you're going to learn more about that very, very soon. I'm currently working on that launch, but if you have ever launched before, you know it's a lot of work. So those are my 2 business goals. And then my third business goal is to continue posting on Instagram and TikTok 5 days a week, which I was consistently doing in July. So I think that's going to be something I'm just going to sustain, which is fine. I don't think I need to grow in terms of posting more on those platforms. But I do want to post more on this platform on YouTube. So I want to post 5 times a week. Whew, hold me accountable, guys. So what I want to do is post at least 1 long form video like this, and then 4 shorts, because I've heard shorts are like really great right now. So that's what I'm going to do. So those are my business goals. And then my personal goals, I'm going to increase the amount of healthy meals because I'm really focused on nutrition. I think I have gotten working out down pat, but I want to focus on nutrition. So I have, my goals are eat 90% clean, which basically means like I have like 2 treat meals a week and that's it. So doing that purposely because I'm going on vacation towards the end of this month. I'm going to Colombia for my birthday, and I want to look great there. While I'm there, I'm probably gonna do my best to stick to 90% clean, but that's gonna shift a bit. So I already know that's gonna happen. So I wrote that down as a part of my goal. And then my second personal goal is to practice Spanish daily. I actually want to do this now. So I noticed that when I was practicing and I put it in my nighttime routine, it wasn't always happening because sometimes I just did not want to do it at night. So what I'm doing instead this month is I'm going to make it a part of my midday break. So it's way more likely to happen when it's midday. So put that down. And then my third goal is to continue working out daily. But this time, what I'm going to do is actually set aside the days I want to do leg days, like bottom half of my body, and the days I want to do like upper half. And then I'm going to also have the days I want to do more active rest. So my walk and yoga days are already going to be pinpointed by each day. So now that I'm more specific, I think I'm going to be better at executing on it. So that's step 2. Go ahead and figure out those goals for the new month. Those are my goals. Go ahead and write them down for yourself. Step 3 is going to be to plan the tasks needed to be completed in order to hit your monthly goals. So for me, this is my favorite part of planning because I actually enjoy getting things like into my Google Calendar and into my Sensama, because then it's just like a way to hold myself accountable, to see it at a glance what I'm going to accomplish this month. And that just makes me excited. I am a high achiever. I like to achieve things. I enjoy checking off things off a list. So this really gets me excited. So during this step 3, you want to think through what do you have going on for the month. So I also have like a physical calendar. You guys probably can't see it in the frame, but I have a physical calendar right next to me, and I have a whiteboard, and I write out my goals there. I also keep track of like my clients there and things that are analytics that I need to just know off the top of my head. And then also I have a month view of what's going on socially too, because I don't want you to just think this is all about work. That is not what my channel is about. It's about time management within your lifestyle, so your work and your personal life. So I have a lot going on personally this month. So I knew the first things I want to do was get those dates onto the calendar. And this is so I don't forget about them, so that I know how I need to structure my weekdays in order to accommodate for my weekends. So the first week of the month, I know I have a conference I'm going to Invest Fest. Maybe I'll vlog that, probably share some of that content on Instagram, most likely. We'll see. My second weekend, I'm definitely vlogging. I'm going to the Getaway House, which I'm really, really excited about, to have some time to unplug and hang out with my husband. And then the third weekend, I'm going to Cartagena, Colombia, somewhere I've always wanted to go, and I'm going for my birthday, so I'm super excited about that. And then the last weekend of the month, we finally returned back home to Atlanta just to go to New York towards the end of midweek the following week. So that weekend we'll also be preparing for the upcoming trip we're going on, because my husband's best friend is getting married. So August socially is a huge, big month, which I love anyway because it's my favorite month. It's my birthday month. But because I know that means my weekdays need to be super structured. They need to be maximized, so that way I'm not the one pulling out a laptop in Colombia like, ooh, let me finish this last email. I don't want that to be me. That's been me in the past, and that was me my last birthday, to be honest. I was in Jamaica, definitely doing some work, took a little bit of client calls. It is what it is, but I'm learning and doing better. So I want you to just for yourself, sit down, think about what do you have going on socially that needs to happen. And if you don't have anything going on socially, think about what you want to have going on, what type of self-care activities you want to be doing, any events that you're going to. And think about also what are like the small tasks that you need to be doing on a weekly basis in order to hit the goals you set for the month. Like for me on a weekly basis, I obviously have to be preparing, creating content to hit my content goals. I'm preparing meals. I'm making sure I'm practicing my Spanish, so I need to have Duolingo up and ready. I'm working out daily, so I need to set aside time for that. I'm also working on launch material, so I'm setting aside time for that, time for my clients and regular activities, times for sales calls because I'm trying to get new clients. Like these are the type of things you want to think through high level. What are all the things that are going to get me to accomplish my goals? Those get planned in first. Everything else comes second if you have the space for it. This is where people go wrong because they don't actually think about what are my priorities versus what's on my calendar or what are the urgencies. So I want you to think through that, be proactive about it for the entire month. And this may take you a couple hours. I know I'm doing this right now. It's probably going to take me some time, like probably about 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours. So feel free to do it. Step away if you need to. Take your time. And then, of course, step 4, the final step is to take action, right? Now that you've sat there and you've planned out what are the tasks that need to get done, you got really clear on your analytics from the previous month so you can use that to make informed decisions about the new month. This is when you want to make sure that your days are structured. So you have the month planned out, you have the tasks planned out, but those may change day to day. So I want you to start getting into the rhythm of reflecting on a daily basis and planning the night before for the day of. For me, what that looks like is I have my physical calendar over here. I have my whiteboard up with my goals on it. But then I also use my Google Calendar for appointments, for time blocking. And I sync that up with my Sunsama. And my Sunsama, which I did a video on, I'll link that tutorial in the description as well. Make sure you have a system set up that's going to hold you accountable. For me, that also comes into play of having my own coach. Like, I hold a lot of my clients accountable, but I also have a coach who holds me accountable. I speak to my husband about the tasks that I have coming up. I speak to some of my coach friends about those tasks as well. I just look to set up an environment that holds me accountable. And also another thing that holds me accountable is being able to track how I'm doing, tracking my analytics like I talked about throughout the month. So that way by the end of the month, I can do this whole exercise again so that way I can have more intentional and easeful months to hit my goals instead of feeling overwhelmed, stressed, out of control, because those are all feelings that can be alleviated when you take the time to plan. This exercise is going to blow your mind. Like I mentioned, if you want your own template for planning your goals quarterly, which is what I use, I always plan my goals quarterly and then I divvy them up across the months. That's what I recommend for my clients as well, and it's what I recommend for you. If you want an easy template and a deeper training on that, go ahead and click the link in my description. It's going to say quarterly goal planner template and training. You can go ahead and download that for a low cost. If you're interested in a stop your time for manage you consultation with me, we can go ahead and set that up. I also will leave a link to that in the description. That way you can have an outside force come in and diagnose your time gaps while you're on hitting your priorities, get you clear on your goals, and actually walk you through this process to help you set up your goals and hold you accountable over the length of time. What happens to a lot of people is they may go through this exercise and then figure out that midway through they just stop looking at their goals, they stop working on the tasks, they stopped doing the things that were working, they stopped tracking. And having an accountability partner like myself as a time management coach, I'm an expert. It can help you to figure out how you can actually achieve your goals. So if you're interested in that, I highly recommend that you click the link in the description below, schedule a stop your time for managing your consultation so we can get to know each other and see if my services can help you. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate you, and I know this exercise is going to help you. I hope that your new month of August is amazing. Don't forget to like this video if you learned something new and you gained value from it. Comment below how this exercise has helped you. Some people commented on my last video about how the tip I gave helped them and what they did and actually how they did it. And I thought that was just so amazing that I'm building a community here and that you guys are like chatting. That makes me so happy. I could literally tear up because these things mean so much to me that I'm just grateful that this is what I get to do for a living. I absolutely love it. So yeah. Make sure to comment and as well as subscribe. There are weekly videos coming out, pumping out for you, full of value. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.